I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa los hombres no lloran.
You all right?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an all-new look for the National Racing Network and our iRacing content here. Tuesday Night Thunder, the Shock Series, taking on Phoenix International Raceway. My name is Chris Graham, joined in the booth by the Bizzler, Patrick Byrne. And, well, this one is going to be crazy because we're looking at, let's see, get rid of this one. A whole lot going on here. Let's talk about Phoenix International Raceway, located in Avondale, Arizona, 1 mile in length. This is the legacy layout. 9 degrees of banking, turns 1 and 2, 10 degrees of banking in turns 3 and 4. Opened in 1964, holds just under 80,000. And Patrick, let's come to you and see this layout of Phoenix. It's the Phoenix version. This one a little bit kinder than to these particular cars than what we saw out of the old version of Phoenix.
Yes, this version of Phoenix, which I guess is the old version and is not the old version. It's a version of Phoenix. This is the classic version of Phoenix, the open wheel version of Phoenix. Before NASCAR came into town and tore the track up and ruined it, this was the place to go to if you were an open wheel driver. And we get an extra 5 minutes of racing tonight because these drivers have compared this race to the Redacted 500, the Coke 600, and this is the biggest race for the series. This is our show.
Yeah, and qualifying appears to be open, which is absolutely beautiful. Picking up, following along with James Watson. Oh my goodness, this has the potential to be absolutely crazy. Let's see, who do we want to pick up on the other side here? Let's pick up There we go. We'll bring up Brian Labarge down in the box on the lower right-hand corner, and we'll get you the qualifying graphics up here on the screen as well. You'll see the scores come up, the lap times come up as we see them in timing and scoring. Brian Labarge going to be your quick timer thus far. Actually, no, it's going to be West Shire quick timer, 25.417 seconds. 25.475 for Simon Feld, Robert Drew, Zach Nurnberg, and Mike Barry, the top 5, as we're down to 3.5 minutes remaining. Just like that, new quick time, James Watson, top of the board, 25.109. He must have had his milk today, because that boy is up on the chip, a tenth and change up. Here's we're about halfway through qualifying. Looks like we're going to have Brian Labarge heading into pit lane. Let's pick up, let's see. Well, Mike Barry's there towards the back of the screen. This is where it screws us up here. Let's pick up Jason Owens. He's making his way down the front stretch. Looks like he's going to have Nick Camargo just ahead, Alex Teeter just behind. Multiple groups in qualifying here. Kind of everybody on the racetrack at the same time. Here we go. Let's get the comments up here on the screen. I'm liking this new graphics package, says 90210. Thank you much. This is going to be the new look, at least for some of our content anyway. Other pieces of content will be, well, let's say more period appropriate, yes. I like saying it that way. Oh, one car going around down to the inside wall. Not sure who that was. Good Lord.
The craziest thing about the open qualifying here is the draft is a huge help at this track. So these guys want to stay in a pack here. It's almost like they're racing, trying to set the fastest time on the board. You're not going to do it by yourself, so you have to be in a pack, you have to be in the draft, and try and keep the draft to the full lap.
Yeah, the guys like West Shire, who absolutely despise pack racing, are now pack racing in qualifications. He's doing all right with it this time. Second quick at a 25.063. Mike Barry with a good lap there. Third quick. Jason Owens, Dave Sparks, the top 5. Let's see. We'll let this one in. We're going to get this comment up on the screen here, Bizzle. 90210 is checking in as Watson goes fastest lap once again.
Shire in the wall.
Oh, yeah, West Shire bouncing it off the wall. 90210, so it didn't take long for Kyle effin' Busch to go from crybaby in a Toyota to a red-blooded American in a Chevy. I believe you forgot gun-toting, meat-eating American in the Chevy.
Now is when I like to remind everyone that Toyota produces more trucks in America than any other car brand. But anyway!
That's neither here nor there.
I say that as a diehard Ford guy, where my chassis was built in Lorain, Ohio, and everything else was built in Windsor, Canada. Actually, it was built in Lima, Ohio, but that's neither here nor there.
Let's pick up Stephen C. Thompson. He is running all by his lonesome. That will not get the job done in qualifying. We'll take a look. Another little pack forming up here. Let's see. We'll get you the side-by-side box for this one. Kylo Ciacelli running kind of third of 4 in line right now as we're down to 20 seconds left, and it looks like the pole time is safe in the hands of James Watson. Not many more laps going to be completed here. We'll see if anybody can turn in a heater, but I don't think it's going to be happening. So with that, qualifications are complete. And there is your qualifying results. James Watson, West Shire, Mike Barry, Stephen C. Thompson, Jason Owens, your top 5. let's take a look and see which camera do we want to use. Let's fire up the blimp for this one. And let's take a look at your starting grid here for tonight's 55-minute long race. James Watson starting on the pole, lap time of 24.873 seconds, 145.69 miles per hour. Very nice lap there for James Watson. Wes Shire going to line up alongside on the outside of road number 1. Road 2 is going to have Mike Barry in the 7-Up machine lining up alongside the Pony Express, number 24 of Stephen C. Thompson. Let me take a look here, but I'm pretty sure tied for the points lead with Wes Shire as we enter tonight's race.
Stephen Thompson may also be tied for the points lead in Fastmasters if I would actually do the points.
That would be a good idea. Row number 3 going to have Jason Owens and Dave Sparks. Row 4, Zach Nurenberger and Kylo Ciacelli. Row number 5, Mike Long and Joe Varvel. Row 6, Simon Fell and AJ Camargo. Row number 7, Andrew Berry. Little bit deep in the field for Berry. Surprised to see him back there alongside the Napa Auto Parts. Number 14 of Jason Paydu. Jason Miller, the PPG Penske livery, lining up alongside the Sprotty, number 17 of Alex Teeter. On row 9, the NASA rocket ship Brian Labarge lining up alongside the National Guard entry of Robert Drew. Row number 10 will be Matt Galida and Nagisa Yoshikawa. Nagisa not getting a lap in qualifications. Also towards the back here without a lap time in, Ben Carswell and Peter Donchak. And all alone will be Rick Cleary on row number 12. 23 cars scheduled to take the start. For a 55-minute long race. Field making their way around on the formation lap. Patrick, the extra 5 minutes here I think is really going to come into play because it definitely makes this a two-stop race. You're going to have to run a pack race and play fuel strategy at the same time. That can be very, very difficult for some of these drivers.
And that 5 minutes is going to be rough. Now, nobody knew about the extra 5 minutes basically until 10 minutes ago. So everyone's practice, everyone's strategy, what they were all planning is all out the window. 5 minutes doesn't sound like a long time, but when you work backwards from 50 minutes and you have to add an extra 5 to that, it throws every calculation out the window.
Green flag in the air. Lap 1, race fans. Gonna be all yours.
And caution on the speedway.
We have got a big mess in turn number 1. First caution flying on the night. Looks like Matt Galida may have had an issue here. Let's take a look at the replay and see if we can see what happened here. Oh yeah, Mac was he was having connection issues big time. You can see him kind of popping in and out of the screen here. That's not good. So we'll get you back to the live look here and pick up race leader James Watson as he's making his way around.
Yeah, those connection issues. iRacing usually does a pretty good job of avoiding contact between cars, but sometimes when it gets really bad, there's nothing it can do, and there's nothing the other drivers can do. 1 second the car's there, and 1 second the car's not, and then 1 second you're inside the car, and nothing good ever comes from that.
Yeah, looks like, let's take a look here and see if we can pull up another replay and see what the possible incident was. I'm going to take a look on the second screen here and see if we can see what happened. Oh yeah, a couple of cars going around. All right, let's cue this one up here. Well, caught it right at kind of the tail end of the contact here, but let's see. Let's bring it back a little bit. And a couple of cars going around. Matt Galida was definitely one of the ones involved in that, as was Simon Fell. So there's your contact, and, well, unfortunately, as we go back to the live look here. Yeah, you can't park there, bud. Nagisio Shikawa spending some time on pit lane. Andrew Berry was also on the pit lane for about 8 seconds or so. Joe Varvel on pit lane as well. Lights are out on the iRacing safety car, pace truck, I guess. So we're going to head back to green flag racing here. It'll be Watson, Shire, Berry, Thompson, Owens, the top 5 as we come back for the restart. See if we can get through the first couple of corners okay here this time. Looks like everybody's going to be safely through turn number 1. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Getting 1 lap up on the scoreboard under green flag conditions. Watson, Shire, Berry, Thompson, Owens, the top 5. Shire going to have the look down inside of Watson into 3 and 4. He'll get that pass completed, but the question becomes, do you want to be the leader here, Patrick? I don't know that that's necessarily the best, not really the spot that you necessarily want to be in.
If you can get away from everyone, absolutely. But you can see James Watson is right on the gearbox of that car. So obviously Wes isn't pulling away very quickly, and I would not want to be out there burning up all my fuel and not getting any big gains from it.
Yeah, that just seems like it's a no-win position. But I tell you what, Wes Shire out front just set the new fastest lap of the race, 25.403, 142.654 miles per hour. And just like that, Andrew Berry's going to top him. Good fights here towards the front. Let's pick up. Oh, well, no, maybe not. Caution is out as Mike Barry goes new fastest lap. We've got trouble on the racetrack. Looks like it may be Joe Varvel and Nagisio Shikawa having an issue. Let's take a look here at the replay and see what happened. Oh, Varvel just getting a little bit sideways, a little bit of contact. Oh, and Nagisa nowhere to go, noses in it. Wow, huge hit from the back. That was the 5 of Matt Galida, absolutely T-boning Joe Varvel. Good Lord. That's a big hit right there.
That one had to hurt. Hopefully they weren't using a direct drive wheel.
Yeah. That one will cause some pain in a big way if that thing snaps in your hands. Couple of cars electing to come down pit lane. Let's pick up Jason Owens. Follow the pit stops here for some of these drivers as we're under the second caution and now inside of the normal 50-minute window. I would tend to think you're probably at that point where this would be your first stop, and then you're going to have to do one more full fuel stop. A little bit kind of going off strategy in some respects, in that you're going to do the short stop first instead of second.
Yeah, it's almost better to take the short stop first. If we're going to go green all the way, the calculations are easy to figure out. If not, it's really just a big gamble here, but gambling wins races.
It can win.
Loses a lot of races, but
I was going to say, it can win some and it can lose you some in a big, big way. But following along with West Shire here at the front of the field. Looks like lights are out on the iRacing safety truck, so we're going to be going back to green flag racing this time. We'll see how West decides to bring the field down here. That's always a question. Are you going to go Colton Hurd on the restart? This early in the race, sometimes you'll even see drivers say, hey, I'll tell you when I'm going to go. And they'll kind of give the information to everybody just because you don't want to have any stack-ups or issues or hang-ups or anything like that.
Yeah, I'd almost want to try and get the jump and pull away. And see if I can break the draft. Just like he's doing right here. Just get far enough away and hopefully pull away from Watson here in turn 1 where he can't catch up. At least for a few laps.
Well, he did that. He gone. Call is 5-6 car lengths as they make their way through the dogleg down the back straightaway. Stephen C. Thompson going to be battling James Watson for second position. Thompson needs to get up there to West Shire because entering tonight's race, a tie for the points lead. Shire and Thompson, Kylo Ciacelli is only 9 points back. Looking even a little bit deeper, Andrew Berry 17 back, James Watson 19 back. We're at the halfway point of the schedule. Any of those drivers still have a very realistic shot at winning this championship.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if you showed up every week so far and you finished fairly consistently in the top 10, there's still enough racing to go where you could win the whole thing. You're not out of it yet.
New fastest lap, Stephen C. Thompson, and he's going to go inside of West Shire. He wants the race lead off at 2. Thompson having a pretty good run here. Started 4th, running his highest position of the night. And he has the fastest lap of the race. Oh, man, a little bit of a wiggle there off of turn number 4, though. Top 3 starting to break away just a little bit here as Andrew Berry goes fast lap, 25.151. Berry currently running in the 14th position, just coming around Brian Labarge. We'll bring up the battle cam here as well. We got a fight for the lead. We got fights deeper in the pack as well. Thompson down to the inside. New race leader off at 2. It is fantastic having the ability to show multiple battles throughout the field here. Andrew Berry trying to get up on Ben Carswell as a couple of cars just back behind him. Jason Padu, Simon Feld, Mike Barry all battling as well. The AJ Camargo, new fastest lap. Andrew Berry, new fastest lap. Feels like a repeating thing here, Patrick. We're going to see a lot of fastest laps get turned. You get a little heat in the tires, you burn a little bit of the fuel off, things start to feel good. These cars will start to get really, really quick.
Yeah, one thing I noticed some of the drivers saying is, since we're doing this race, or at least it was supposed to be at sunrise, as the track gets hotter, it's getting faster, which is a little backwards to me, but I guess we are in Phoenix, and it must just be a dry heat.
Well, we could take a look at the weather conditions here. And partly cloudy skies.
Yeah, humidity 0.
No humidity, dry heat. Air temp 70. Track temp 123 degrees Fahrenheit. Not sure where the ones went on that one, but Winds are going to be fairly calm as well as West Shire goes back to the race lead. Oh, man, almost 3 wide off of turn 2 in the little box down there in the quarter. Man, they're still banging wheels through the dog leg. What's interesting, though, is this second pack that we're following here is starting to catch the lead pack. There you saw them come past on the speed shot. What was a 3-car breakaway turned into 4 when Zach Nurenberger got caught up. Now Kylo Ciacelli and Nick Camargo are going to be there as well. 1 car going around. Let's see, that's going to be Ben Carswell, and that will bring out the caution flag again here at the Phoenix Raceway.
Well, Ben pulling off his best Jimmy Johnson impression there.
Oh, that's just hurtful. I see what you did there.
Which time? That time at Talladega or that time at Dover? Or that time at Bristol?
Oh, man. You're brutal. Let's take a look here and see if we can't see what happened to Ben Carswell, our IndyCar writer here on the National Racing Network. Oh, he got some help. Punterino. Oh, wow. 1 car getting airborne. Carswell going around big. Good Lord.
Surprisingly, I think Carswell got the least damage out of that.
Quite possibly. He was involved in the incident, but now as we go back to the live look here, and lots of cars heading down the pit lane. In fact, most of the front of the field is going to head down pit lane. In fact, everybody is on pit lane at this point. Following along with Stephen C. Thompson as his crew works. Let's take a look here. There we go. West Shire, 6.28 seconds the time of the stop. Watson, Thompson, Ciacelli, Nurenberger all in the 6-second range. As the cars head off of pit lane, they're going to disappear off the pitting box here, but we'll be able to show you who's on pit lane and for how long. Hopefully all are enjoying the graphics and some of this stuff. Let's see. Kyle Mast is checking in from Mexico. Kyle Mast saying, let's go Kylo, showing him some love. By the way, Patrick, 90210 is saying, my Ford was assembled in Atlanta, 89 Taurus SHO.
Oh, man.
Actually, my 95 SHO was assembled in Atlanta as well.
I know my T-Bird was assembled in Lorraine. The engine was built in Lima. So that's an Ohio baby. My Mercury, the engine was built at the Cleveland engine plant. I think the chassis was assembled in Canada, but I forget which plant. And my Mustang, the engine was a Windsor, and I forget where that one was assembled too. I am a terrible Ford owner. My Escort, I don't remember where that one was built, and my Lincoln, I don't remember where that one was built. I know the engine from that one was built in Italy, but
the only thing you're harder on, the only thing you're worse about than owning Fords is owning Honda Fits.
I was great at owning that car. Some jerk in an Acura decided to total that one.
Yes.
His insurance paid me very nicely, though, so I'm not too mad about that.
Peter Donchek having some connection issues and computer issues, it sounds like. We got another buddy checking in here. Tasty, saying, let's go Ford guys. Found on road dead, fixer repair daily.
I have done all of the above.
I will let you take your pick.
I've actually, every Ford I've ever owned has been on fire at some point in my ownership. I wish I was kidding. I habitually carry a fire extinguisher now.
That sounds about right. So down to 38 minutes remaining here. Pace Truck's going to pull off. West Shire has the field under his command. And we are back to green flag racing here at Phoenix. Shire gets out to the good jump. Everybody's going to stay pretty well in line here. You get back to 4th place, Kylo Ciacelli. Ciacelli and Nurenberger were starting to get out of line a little bit. All the way back through 10th place, all single file and behaving themselves for the moment. Into the NRN race summary here. 3 cautions, 2 leaders, 3 lead changes. Fastest lap of the race belongs to Zach Nurenberger. Jason Owens coming around Nick Camargo. The AJ up along the outside, running that safer barrier, the exit at turn number 2. Mike Barry, don't go 3 wide. That's not smart. He must be listening as he backs out. Man, see a little bit of tire smoke there. We'll get the battle for the race lead up here on the bottom corner of your screen as well. Your top 3 all nose to tail. As this second pack battles, that's going to allow the leaders to kind of open up a gap a little bit.
That's exactly what the leaders want. These 3 guys up front, they're all smart enough to just kind of stay in a line and pull away from everyone. At least until Watson gets impatient with West, and West starts thinking about pack racing, and all of a sudden they're in a pack again.
Man, my mental math is all screwed up here too. So at a 55-minute race, I believe that's 27 and a half minutes will put us to the halfway point. So we're still about 8 minutes or so away. Wow, Andrew Berry with a big dive up the inside. Good Lord, son. And you can see what the pack racing has done to the lead. It is huge at this point. About 1.6 seconds separating West Shire from 4th place, Zach Nurenberger. Nurenberger and Mike Barry running side by side. Oh, we've got one around. Caution and carnage off at turn 2, and Andrew Barry's going to be in the middle of it.
It's a lot of carnage. What do you got to do? You got to slap the flex seal on that one. That's a lot of damage. I believe Jason is currently racing on a Driving Force GT that is mounted to a stowaway sim rig that folds in his coffee table. So he's getting used to the new rig a little bit. Which is why he's not winning at Phoenix here. And the man himself is up in the booth.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How's it going?
There we go. Jason, can you confirm for us that you're driving on a coffee table tonight?
I can neither confirm nor deny. I will say we need to go check the tape because I'm not so sure the timing and scoring guy laid the timing loop in the track in the right position there.
No, you're thinking of Phoenix. We're racing at Phoenix where the starting line is where the pit lane is. It's not in the dog leg this time.
I know. I'm pretty sure I was clear of Kylo there when the caution came out. But it must have gone to the previous scoring loop.
Yes, or something along those lines.
Okay, Paul Tracy, just quit it. Calm down.
It's not the last lap.
Carter Lundy is checking in saying you're not winning. You know what? It looks good from the booth up here. Carter Lundy is checking in the comments saying it's Phoenix and you're not winning.
No, the competition's much stiffer here in Shock than in most of the PM18 officials on ovals.
Yes. He's asked us, doesn't he have triples in a sim lab setup? Yeah, I believe you're testing a a new iteration.
I'm not
of this,
testing it.
minimalist.
I haven't ordered it. It doesn't exist yet. It will at some point. So.
Oh, it exists. You just haven't bought it yet.
I just haven't built it yet.
Yes.
So, how about the fuel strats, though? It's going to be super interesting because it's telling me from here I'm going to need to refuel at 18 liters, but I'm not so sure I trust the calculator tonight.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, we're playing some different fuel games here. At least some guys were early, and then now everybody made the pit stop under the last caution. I still don't think everybody can make it here. You're going to have to go a full tank of fuel here at some point, aren't you?
Yeah, you're going to have, I mean, yeah, basically. I'm going to need to run my tank dry and then add another 18 liters to make it to the end. So, at least that's what Joel Racing is telling me. So, cross myself to JRT that he can count tonight.
All right, buddy. Well, good luck. We're getting ready to go back to green. We'll drop you back into your room here. And Carter Lundy's asking, is that a downgrade or an upgrade on the sim rig? I think it's a lifestyle choice, I guess is what you could say. I will gladly take his triples and sim rig if he's looking to get rid of them.
Let's split it. You get the sim rig, and I'll take the triples. Since you have 16 so screens over there.
We are actively working on it. Right now, 7 is not enough for the work that we're doing here at the National Racing Network. Fields off at turn number 4. We haven't done one since the start of the race. Let's try it again. Y'all at home, go ahead and crank it up. Well, taking a look at the replay, Zach Nurenberger, I don't know, I think that's the 5th or 6th time Simon Fell has gotten the short end of the stick here tonight. At this point now, Patrick, 4th, 5th caution, whatever it is here on the race, this gets a little bit ugly because now they're saving a bunch of fuel. Maybe it cuts down the splash that they have to take, but you're still talking about drivers needing to take at least one more full stop, and they're not there into the window of time yet to do it.
No, so I think what's going to happen is Wes is going to complain more about pack racing, pull away from everyone, and they're going to keep crashing because they're sick of hearing about Wes complaining about pack racing.
The pack racing that has only sort of happened tonight. That's the funny part.
Yeah, no, I was expecting this to be a pack race the way Phoenix usually is, and iRacing must have touched something with this car, because this is actually really, really good racing when they're racing. It's sort of like the LA Clash on Saturday. It was really great until Wiz Khalifa performed. So, not that I have anything against Wiz Khalifa. They just went to halftime and then forgot how to drive. So
yes.
I hopefully the second half of this one, we keep it a lot cleaner. That's my hope.
Yeah, we can only hope that. But, and again, it really opens up the strategy, because if you do get the long run, things really go a little bit crazy at that point, because you really don't know who necessarily is going to be, who's going to be good, who's going to have to do a longer stop. There's a lot that's going to go into this here that they still have a lot of running to go yet.
Yeah, we are only just approaching halfway right now. So, still a lot of racing to go.
Still a lot of racing to go. A lot coming up here on the National Racing Network. Let's tell you about some of it. 1 week from tonight, well, 1 week from tomorrow night, I guess, the return to the Sim Racers Club for a 36-week schedule. Mark the calendars. Every Wednesday night, we are going to have date night here with the Sim Racers Club. Still half the season left to go for the TNT Shock Series, basically every other Tuesday through the end of May. Thursday night, it'll be the U.S. Open Wheel doubleheader. And with 2023 Season 2 on the iRacing platform, a whole lot of excitement is going to be coming here. No spoilers, hashtag no spoilers, but the period appropriate comment that Patrick made earlier in the night was a pretty good one.
I'm stoked. You have no idea.
Yeah.
Going green again.
Going green. Westshire really backs the field up, and it may have caught out Kylo Ciacelli. He was inside of Mike Barry coming to the green. He falls back in line, so I think everybody's going to be good. Oh, Carter Lundy, a fantastic question in the comments. What are we doing for week 13, though? Should we just call it now and say there will be some sort of a TNT special event coming up?
I could put on my week 13 special event series.
No,
Camel GT car.
God, at Chicago. Ugh.
No, we won't do it at Chicago this year. We'll do it at like the Monza combined track. We'll do like half oval, half stupid road course race. With Camel GT.
Bathurst?
Bathurst and Lotus 49s could be a great show.
Yeah, we usually do something that's mixed class stupidity and usually some carnage at some point. Although we do have to go back to hell as well. Skippy Cross was one of the better dumb ideas that we've had, and I think that needs a revisit, especially if we get the Formula Ford.
Yes, I need to hold on to my title. I am still the Skippy Cross World Champion because we haven't had a second race for anyone to dethrone me. I've been Skippy Cross World Champion for 2 years now, coming up in a month.
Can confirm. Let's take a look here. The leaders are behaving themselves. We'll show you the small box as well here. Oh, Alex Teeter, keep it off the wall. Everybody at this point is running single file. Andrew Berry, 9 laps in arrears in the 19th position and not on the racetrack. That is not going to help his championship efforts one bit. Entering the night, 17 points back of the leaders, only 8 points back of Kylo Ciacelli. But your 2 championship leaders are battling at the front of the field. Stephen C. Thompson and Wes Shire. Shire currently first, Thompson third, and they're separated by the milkman, James Watson.
Thompson getting eager. He's looking for a run. I know when he starts making those moves, he's about to do something crazy.
Yeah, he wants a piece of this, and Mike Barry and Jason Owens running in the 4th and 5th position seem very content to kind of let them go. In fact, Owens, new fastest lap of the race, 25:057. Could we see a 24-second fastest lap by the end of this thing? That might be a little bit of an ask.
I think this is the farthest up the field I've ever seen Mike Barry.
It could be. All it took was some trip to Ireland and all the the family fun and frivolities that went along
There
with
was
that.
a lot of shenanigans in Ireland when I went up there with them.
I can believe that.
Or you can just leave it as shenanigans.
Yes.
Hey, Farvo, what's that restaurant you like with all the goofy stuff on the walls?
Here's Thompson looking inside of Watson into one. Oh, Watson, keep it off the wall there, buddy. Held it about a car width off the safer barrier. They'll continue running side by side, and West Shire will just say thank you very much. Now they get back in line. Bottom right-hand corner of the screen, the second group of cars led by Nick Camargo, Kylo Ciacelli, Jason Miller, Dave Sparks. They're about 1.8 seconds back of the race leaders. What's really interesting to me here, Patrick, is that as these leaders start to break away and we see some green flag running, if we get green flag pit stops, they can be treacherous here at Phoenix. You have to go basically full throttle into turn 3 and just kind of dive off the racetrack to the bottom and hope it sticks when you're coming to pit lane.
That's the whole fun of this old version of Phoenix, and why open wheel cars here is so fun, because open wheel cars can usually make it stick. Usually. Sometimes you end up coming back up, Evan LePage in the field, and that's okay, it happens, but you got to attack this pit lane. It's too much fun not to.
Mike Barry had a peek on Stephen C. Thompson trying to get himself up towards the podium. Good battle back here, a little bit deeper in the field. Alex Teeter, Brian Labarge battling as Thompson goes inside of Watson to 3. Now, I don't know that one car can absolutely outright disappear. If Watson and Thompson, Barry and Owens get side by side, I don't know that West Shire can just run off into the sunset here.
No, he's not going to be able to. The draft is just too strong here.
Nice move by Mike Barry, though, into turn 3. Picking up the 3rd position off of Stephen C. Thompson. Now Thompson's going to have to contend with Jason Owens. He may lose 2 spots in 2 laps here as Owens takes back off to the high side through the dog leg. Calls no joy. That'll be the end of that battle. Slide up on the bottom right cam here. Pick up Kylo Ciacelli, Nick Camargo, Jason Miller, Dave Sparks. These guys are racy back there, and quite frankly, we'll flip the boxes around here for a second. Them running side by side is hurting their ability to get up to the race leaders. At this point, they almost need a caution or a mess on pit road if they're going to have a shot at winning this thing.
Yeah, and the problem when you're in a pack like that is everyone is thinking the same thing. Let's get in a line and catch the leaders. Except one guy's faster than another guy in turns 1 and 2, and then the other guy is faster in 3 and 4, so you end up keep swap drafting like Ciacelli's doing right here with Barry. And it just, you get screwed.
Well, yeah, it's sort of Kylo going the bump draft on AJ Camargo down the front straightaway.
Camargo, sorry. Those paint schemes look similar. They're
Gutsy.
both green and
green cars don't belong on racetracks. I say that as we have 3 of them in the various camera shots here, but
I remember I joined a race team for the Daytona 24 a couple years ago now, probably like 2016 now. And we were going to have a green car. And after we finished recruiting everyone, we got our driver list. It was me and 3 other guys. And I was like, hey, I think green cars were unlucky. And Steven, the guy running the whole show, he was like, I knew there would be one of you.
Fantastic story that Dr. Dr. Steve Olvey told in his book Rapid Response about working the Daytona 500 for AJ Foyt and what Foyt did, the unspeakable things Foyt did to a green cooler that Olvey brought into the pit box full of like snacks and waters and stuff for race day. AJ took every hand tool he could possibly find until there was no green cooler left. The language is a little bit more colorful in Olvie's book, but yes.
It's the same thing with peanuts in an engine shop. I cannot eat Five Guys for my lunch break at my engine shop because it's cooked with peanut oil.
I think that's a little extreme. It was the peanut shells that were the problem. But...
Well, it's superstition.
I was going to say, no peanuts, I guess means no peanuts. Mike Barry having the look on James Watson. We'll see if he's going to be able to get the move done here in 1 and 2. Watson
Barry's
getting the toe, though.
On top of it tonight.
Yeah,
Barry getting the toe now.
This is a great run for Mike Barry. Oh, almost up into Watson off of 4. That's where that gets really dangerous, is if you get a little bit of a push off the bottom of 4, the way the racetrack kind of narrows down there, it is so easy to have big, big problems there.
Oh, yeah. And I know most of you have probably never seen Watson's setup, but Mike Barry races on a very similar setup to James Watson. So it's actually Wes Shire does too. It is the battle of the single screen that's less than 20 inches large racing on a desk right now. And here comes Jason Owens on his triple screens and full rig, being 4th position behind these 3 guys.
Don't let Jason Owens fool you. He's sitting on a $4.5 million full motion, fully encapsulated sim rig in his basement.
And the top 3, if you take the price of all 3 of their sims combined, you might be able to buy the rim Jason Owens is using. Jason Owens 4th place.
That's funny. I do like that one. Down to 15 minutes remaining here. We got to be getting close to the fuel window for these guys. By far the longest stint we've had here this evening. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Couple of comments coming in. Let's get Christian Jasper up here first. New graphics package looking good. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Yeah, brother.
Carter Lundy, we should do a race down Mount Washington.
Been there, done that, down to do it again.
Yes, we did the, actually, we were one of the first ones to do the bobsled race, so the Formula V downhill, down Mount Washington.
Doing that with 4 Drink Fridays was more fun that can be possibly put into a sentence.
Yes, that was, that one was interesting. We'll just put it mildly. We did have some fantastic after dark and special events races. We have not yet conquered roller derby. I know the newly engaged Chad Irvine would love to see us do that one. First car on pit lane, and it will be Nee Camargo.
Mike Barry with a huge move to the inside of Watson. He's going to get the 2nd place. Oh, he's not clear yet. Too wide, 2 rows deep at the front.
Yeah. This has not ended well at various points here tonight. Stephen C. Thompson electing to back out of it a little bit as Nee Camargo gets off of pit lane. Ben Carswell finishing up his service, 7.73 for Camargo, 7.35 for Carswell. Oh, that was almost some right side romance there from Mike Barry on James Watson.
I need new pants, Mike needs new pants, and Watson needs new pants. Let's all go to Kohl's. Oh, that was gnarly.
That's awesome. Brian Lamarge making his way down pit lane. Running through every pit box on the way to his stall. Now, you are going to go a lap down just because the pit lane is so long here at Phoenix. Jason Paydu also heading down pit lane. We'll pick up the stop for Paydu as well. And Labarge may have a penalty to be served here. Over 25 seconds on the clock for Brian Labarge. New fastest lap of the race, Stephen C. Thompson, 25.040. 4/100ths of a second. Oh, my goodness.
I'm starting to think the undercut might be the way to go.
You got to wonder here. Oh, here he comes, race leader. Wes Shire's on pit lane. 12.5 minutes left, as is Stephen C. Thompson. I forget who was saying it in the pre-race, but I pit when Wes pits. It's not the worst strategy you could possibly try to execute. James Watson going to come down pit lane this time as well, so we'll follow both of these pit stops. Hold on to it, Watson. Wes Shire down and away quickly. 5.3 seconds. My goodness, that was a quick stop. Now we're going to pick up Jason Owens. Now we'll get James Watson the coverage of his pit stop. Stephen C. Thompson, 6.93 seconds. That one was pretty quick. Here comes Owens and Mike Barry on the pit lane this time. Wes Shire coming back around on the racetrack. As we see Watson coming off of pit lane, we'll pick up Jason Owens and Mike Barry as they get down for their stops. 5.5 seconds for Watson. Kylo Ciacelli is 691. Robert Drew is 793. 11 minutes to go. They should, and that's big air quotes there, should possibly be good to go. Carter Lundy's asking, what's wrong with the color green? I know the story on this one. Rest of the leaders getting off of pit lane cleanly. Alex Teeter has not yet stopped. The color green on race cars is bad luck dating back to an incident at Langhorne Speedway. The first fatality in what is now the NASCAR Cup Series occurred at Langhorne. Driver that was running a green race car basically went through the turn one wall and basically into like the crowd / parking lot area. No fans were killed, but the driver was. And since that day, the color green has been a no-go for race cars.
It's just superstition. Obviously, Kyle Busch has won a championship with the green car. But the ratio of green cars to non-green cars involved in accidents, involved in race wins, involved in championships, favors strongly to don't run a green car. Now, that statistical bias might be because people haven't really run green cars very often in the last 80 years, but...
yeah, there is a long history of the color green is just bad luck, period. But it really goes to like a different extent with race cars. And superstitious race car people are... Carter Lundy saying Aston Martin didn't get the memo. Aston Martin hasn't won either.
Bingo. Yeah, there's superstitions in racing that they're superstitions, but you're never going to break people from them. Like peanuts in an engine shop, or peanut shells, or we just do peanuts in general. The color green, trying to think of some other real good ones that are batshit.
Well, Alex Teeter, race leader, is making his way onto pit lane. Oh, we've got one car going around right in front of Teeter.
You can't park there, buddy.
We'll follow along with a stop. This is going to be a very, very short stop. That was Zach Nurenberger who went around.
And that's not going to bring out the caution because he's off the racing surface.
And that was about the caution flag that Alex Teeter was hoping for. He's down and away, 6.88 seconds. But Teeter now following all the way back to the 8th position. Now the battle at the front of the field is Wes Shire versus Jason Owens. James Watson 1.5 seconds back, sort of in no man's land. Following Watson's going to be Mike Barry, Stephen C. Thompson. Then Kylo Ciacelli a ways back as well. And this is what we talked about here, Bizzle. Once you got the long green flag run, there's not a lot that's going to end the long green flag run. You kind of get everybody spaced out a little bit, knocking on wood over here. We could see this race go after a kind of a halting start to the race. It could go completely green to the finish.
Don't jinx it now, though. Find the closest piece of wood you got and start knocking on that thing. Because Jason Owens now shooting to the inside of West Shire.
Yeah, Wes may have clipped the safer barrier exiting turn 2. Man, he got a little bit loose off of turn 4, too. Big wiggle.
Now, I'm going to give up some setup secrets because Wes stupidly said this with broadcaster in chat. Wes sets all of his cars up with no fuel in them. He sets them up for the last 5 minutes or so of a run. And then he just adds fuel to them, and that's his race setup. So his setups get very, very loose at the end of the run. They get very, very fast, but very hard to drive.
The side-by-side battle for the race lead is fantastic here, but it's going to bring James Watson into the discussion. The longer these guys go 2x2, the better it is for James Watson. A couple of lap cars hitting down to pit lane. That's going to be Mike Long and Joe Varvel. Owens back to the inside. They're trying the swap draft here as best they can. They want to open the gap up, but it's not working. Watson has it down to 0.8 of a second, and he is closing quickly. Now that he's into draft range, he's really going to get the tow. As, quite frankly, Mike Barry and Stephen C. Thompson are going to do it as well. I mean, at some point you have to think Wes and Jason are not dummies behind the wheel. They've got to notice that the swap draft isn't working. Do you give it up and just try to run nose to tail, or is it not worth it because somebody's on the brakes the whole time?
I say just race it out. Quit trying to play with each other because James Watson is right there and he's about to make this a three-way fight. He's not going to cooperate with you guys, so you just got to send it.
Yeah, that's kind of where we are, down to the final 5 minutes of this 55-minute extravaganza. Up next for the TNT crew, the Fastmasters Series taking on Kansas, I believe.
Yes, we will be at Kansas, and I haven't tested it, but we're going to run our Nashville setup there, which is a very low downforce. I believe there will be a little bit of lifting tonight, and I think it'll be at a good time.
Oh, let's take a look here and see. Let's go on board with James Watson. Watson having the look inside of Jason Owens. That is one thing I love watching James from the in-car in these PM18s. His hands are so smooth on that steering wheel. Doesn't burn the stuff up, doesn't overdrive the car too much. Little bit more input there into turn one, little bit of a push there. But he just seems so calm in the race car until you do something to piss him off.
Oh, and I guarantee you right now, he's not calm either. Just because his arms are moving calmly does not mean he's not screaming over that mic, telling everyone to get the hell out of my way. I'm trying to race here, man. He's freaking awesome to listen to while he races.
Coming up on lap traffic here as well. I'll tell you what, though, West Shire is opening the gap up. Now, he's got a little bit of drafting help here from Robert Drew. But I'll tell you what, that little bit of a push that Watson has in the race car is really hurting him through 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's almost going to be just settle down and sit behind West. So you're going to have to be happy with second place with the way that car's driving.
2 minutes, 45 seconds remain here at Phoenix Raceway. next race for this crew will be February 21st, heading off to the Nashville Fairgrounds. I believe a track that was season 1 where Oisin Walsh lapped the field. He just did absolutely. Was that the Wreckfest? I don't remember which one it was, but I think it was Nashville Fairgrounds that Oisin lapped the entire field outright on pace. It was disgusting, the setup tricks he had. And then he made a little slip up by saying something about the front left of the car, and everybody went, wait a minute, front left? And then they started looking through some stuff, and it clicked, and my God, did the setups get good for this car after that. And quite frankly, opened up the official championship as well.
I figured out that little setup trick with the left front like the week before he said it. We were at Nashville, and instead of it being Oisin versus the field, it was Oisin and Bizzle versus the field until I looped it out of 4. I was like, damn it. And then like that week he gave up his setup tip, and I was like, oh, it's all over now.
Yeah. Watson closing the gap here down to the final 70 seconds or so of this race. Give you one more look at the race summary here. 11 lead changes across 4 different leaders. Stephen C. Thompson with the fastest lap of the race. 4 cautions for 12 laps. There's the gap. It's down to 3/10. Does Watson have enough time to get there? And does he have enough time to complete the pass? Oh my goodness, this could be fantastic off of turn 4, coming for the win. Should be down to 2 laps to go. Well, maybe not. This could be the final lap of the race. We'll see. The clock's going to get down to 10 seconds here as they're off of turn number 2. But you get to a certain point in the lap, and it goes one more. And we may be there. Well, let's see. Off of turn 4, twin checkers are in the air, and Wes Shire will pick up the win at Phoenix by about 6 seconds. He didn't have to fight with James Watson. And it was not much more than 5 or 6 seconds, and this thing would have gone 1 extra lap.
That was getting spicy.
Yeah, that had the potential to get really spicy. Wes will come down to collect his checkered flag and light him up here on the front straightaway. Well done on the donut making. Let's take a look here at your race results. Shire,
God,
Watson,
good.
Owens, Barry, Camargo, your top 5, 6 through 10. Kylo Ciacelli, Jason Miller, Alex Teeter, Ben Carswell, and Jason Paydu. Only 9 cars finishing on the lead lap tonight. That's a little bit surprising. Nice recovery by Ben Carswell after being involved in that incident as well to bring home a lead lap finish in 9th. Stephen C. Thompson going to finish 12th. Dave Sparks 13th. 14th to Zach Nurenberger. 15th, Brian Labarge. Mike Long in 16th. 17th to Joe Varvel. Matt Galida 18th. 19th to Simon Fell. 20th tonight will be Andrew Berry. 21st, Nagisio Shikawa. 22nd to Peter Donchak. And Rick Cleary coming home in the 23rd position. With that, time for us to get ready for some Victory Lane interviews here. Let's see. And we got to find, there we go, we've got Jason Owens here. But first, let's bring in our race winner tonight. Guy who was absolutely spectacular all night long. We'll get ready here and... Well, we're trying to get the Victory Lane interviews keyed up here anyway. Let's take a look.
Oh, here we know.
There we go. Now we got you, Wes.
There we go. Yeah, turning. Yeah, okay. Something audio interface. Yeah, long time no see. It's been what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks. It's been, well, a little bit crazy on our end here as well. But, man, I'll tell you what, bud, a fantastic show you guys put on here tonight. I don't know what more to say other than absolutely epic show is what we saw out of you guys.
Yeah, it's certainly what we like to put on here. And, yeah, definitely a lot of fun hanging out, leading most of the laps. Little bit of a threat a couple times there from James, from Jason. I think, Steven had a look there early at the race. But, yeah, overall, not bad.
Yeah, you know what? That's one of those deals that it's kind of like, especially with how James was closing on you late in this race. I said it was maybe 5 or 6 seconds until we were going to get another lap in. That has to be a little bit concerning. You open up a gap and all of a sudden it starts shrinking in those last waning seconds.
Yeah, definitely a couple more laps there. He would have had, at the very least, a good shot at me. I was definitely starting to loosen up real bad, 1 and 2 particularly. But yeah, maybe, well, I'd say I'd regret not taking tires there. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't take tires. It worked out.
Yeah, it seemed like that was going to be one of the big strategy calls, was who took tires, when did you take them, how are you going to run the fuel numbers. You're a little bit more of a cerebral driver in terms of fuel saving, but how much of the thought process goes into the actual sequencing of the pit stops as well over the course of the night? There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, pretty much just working backwards from the get-go. So I knew had to make it to roughly 19 to 20 minutes to go to be good full blast to the end. So once we had that caution around about 40 minutes to go, I knew it's like, all right, we're pitting here, we're pitting once more, that's it. And we are only taking tires on this first caution, and unless it feels real bad later, we're full send from here.
Well, this is big in terms of the points battle as well here as we hit the halfway point of the season. Steven finishing in the 12th position tonight. You're going to open up a pretty sizable gap here with Kylo finishing 6th. I would imagine this is not the type of deal where you can start thinking, I'm comfortable, though.
Definitely not comfortable. There's a few, shall we say, not great tracks for me coming up. Certainly worried about Andrew at the road courses, Homestead and not Gateway, Mostport. Not sure what's going to happen with Hickory. Pocono's just going to be anyone can win, and pretty confident for the last 2 at Gateway and IRP. And yeah, Fairgrounds should be maybe not fully favoring me, but I know how to win there.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a fun season thus far. We've got some big things coming up here, and we're looking forward to see it. Congratulations on a big win here tonight and opening up that points lead. And before we let you go, make sure you do all the sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Yeah, as usual, got to thank you guys for the broadcast. Excellent as always. Thanks to Jason for open qualifying and fast credits. That was interesting. I say none of us were expecting that, but about 10 minutes to go at practice, Mike Barry and Watson and I went, wait a minute, it's open quality. Let's just sequence ourselves up here. We did a couple runs there. So thanks to those guys for us locking out the top 3. And, of course, shout out to my other life as a D&D live streamer. You can check us out on YouTube, Twitch, Tales from Rukon. On a little bit of a break right now. Should be back pretty soon with some new content. And, of course, big shout out to Homestead Coffee with everything they do to just continue my existence in perpetual caffeination. And once again, a shout out to Andrew Barry for the wonderful set from New Smyrna that works everywhere.
Oh, Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. So, Wes having a very good run tonight. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you checking in with us. Another guy who is, well, really good, actually. Let's do this interview first. Let's talk to Jason Owens, our third place finisher here tonight. I'll tell you what, this one was interesting. We talked to you in the middle of the race. It was a little bit of everything, I guess you could say. It had some pit strategy. It had some ugly early cautions, long green flag runs. This was really kind of a typical Phoenix race for the TNT Shock Series.
It was, and I'm first off, congrats to Wes and James. Both deserved their podium spots. I had no right front left there at the end and had nothing for them. I had to take 4.2 seconds of fuel, and it's 5.1 to change tires, and I came out right in front of Wes, and I'm kind of kicking myself. Maybe I should have taken tires, and I could have run 0.2 a lap faster there for that last sprint, but
well, it's interesting because Wes made the mention he didn't take tires either. His stop was, I think, 5.3 seconds, something like that. You guys were on kind of the same thought process. Do you know that that's what the strategy is going to be, and you just have to conserve tires the entire run it amounted to?
Yeah, and I didn't conserve tires, and he did being out front in clean air, and I think that's what it came down to. I think I had probably a little too much downforce on the car and was a little too aggressive in that first run, swapping positions. And then when I knew my only shot was to use the lap traffic, get a draft, and get out in front, and maybe hold him on the high side for a couple laps till James could get him in dice. But I think Wes and I have somewhere between 5,000 and 8,000 wheel-to-wheel laps here at this track at this point. And as you can see, like, we just implicitly trust each other with car placement. And I had a great race. Like, I came back to front a couple times, like made some great moves around the outside, tried the early fuel strategy, got back on fuel strategy with the leaders, and brought it home for a first podium in a while. It feels good.
Yeah, and you didn't even break out build the new sim rig yet, too, which is nice. But yeah, congratulations on the podium finish here. And before we let you go, do all those sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Yeah, I want to thank, obviously, Extra Life, Riley Children's Hospital. We got GSI wheel on the rig. Anybody that's listening that has their rig up and running, TNT Fast Masters goes official here in 7 or 8 minutes and open hosted. That is the Z4 GT3 on the speedways and super speedways. I believe we're at Kansas tonight. So awesome pack racing. Come out and run it. Hosted by Jimmy Vasserol himself. Other than that, thanks, Chris. Thanks, Patrick. I'm sure it was a great broadcast. Can't wait to go back and watch it.
Yeah,
it was a blast tonight.
Yeah, this one was a good one. Thank you much. We appreciate you checking in with us. And now it's time for us to talk to a guy I've been looking forward to talking to all day, and I'm glad we get to do it in the interviews here. Mr. James Watson, our runner-up finisher here tonight. You have had a pretty good day here, my man.
Yeah. Good run in the sprint car stuff earlier. Pole and a P2 here. Got my awesome prize for winning Vintage Indy this past year. Pretty good day.
It was only almost a year late, but we got it to you. Hashtag eventually. All in all, this was a pretty good race here. Let me ask you, did you take tires on the pit stop? Because Wes and Jason both made mention, yeah, same deal, that he did, they didn't. And we picked it up. We were actually on board with you. Seeing the push start to develop off of turn 2, was that really kind of the difference, that you just didn't have the right front left?
Nope, I had no grip. I had absolutely nothing for him.
Yeah, those are tough because I guess the outright pace is there, but you had to do so much saving, and you really had to work your way through a lot of congestion throughout the field. Jason made mention that running in traffic may have been the downfall, was that he was able to save a little tire out front. Do you feel that's kind of the same thing where if you had been able to save the tires out front early, you may have had something for him late?
Yeah, but he got me. I let him go at the very beginning, and I probably shouldn't have done that, but I don't know if he probably would have gotten by me at some point. So it's a bit of a moot point, honestly.
Well, all in all, a good day for you here, brother. Congratulations on the podium finish, and quite frankly, what's going to turn out to be a very, very big points night for you as well here. So, congratulations on that. And before we let you go, do all those sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Gotta thank all the fine folks over at Team Watson Racing Setups. Use code WATSPIN39 for 10% off at checkout. Gotta thank you and everyone else at NRN for always helping and supporting us. Gotta thank Martin Sports Sim Racing Apparel. Gotta give a shout out to simsearch.com. If you got a bunch of sim racing junk that you want to upload, whether it's actual sim racing equipment, your own setups, or your own paints, go to simsearch.com and make an account. It's basically the eBay of sim racing. So it makes selling your stuff a lot easier because you know that it's going to go to someone that knows what they're doing and knows what they're looking for.
Well, there you go. I'll have to check that one out because with all these monitors, I need something that resembles a decent sim wheel. All right, James, thank you much. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us here for a couple of minutes. We'll see you in Fastmasters here shortly. And, well, it's time for us to get ready to get out of here there, Mr. Bizzle.
Yes, sir. You should get yourself registered for Fastmasters. We only got 2 minutes left.
Oh, yeah, I got to go. All right, everybody. We're getting out of here. For Patrick Byrne and everybody here at the National Racing Network that makes these shows happen, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will talk to you all soon. Have a good night, everybody.